Hey, Laura J.E. Hamilton here again, and sometimes I go camera happy when I'm in a really uplifted state of awareness that I want to be able to share more of the messages that I have been acquiring through my hero's journey that I am uniquely on, as are you. And it is to say to you that you are living the best life of your current awareness, because it is the lid on your leadership, as John C. Maxwell, my mentor and friend, says. Papa John. I connected with John in 2011 when I joined his leadership certification program in order to become certified by a reputable name, the leading author and authority in leadership and communication in the world, Toastmasters equipped with the highest recognition, and many, many, many other organizations, including Fortune 500 companies that know, like, and trust John and respect the fact that he can break down leadership in the way that I can break down spiritual principles to help you understand all the lessons that I've been acquiring, because we have a subconscious mind that is like a filing cabinet. You can also equate it to your internet. And your internet is basically the search engine that produces results every time you have a new idea that comes in the conscious mind, which is like the filtration station. And you get this idea, and it's an X idea, and then down here is a Y idea, and a Y in the body, which is your actions based on your feelings that create your results. So thought, feeling, belief? Belief is with feeling. That is, we believe what we feel because there is an energetic resonance to it, and our feelings are what are in the body, and those are the interpretations of other emotions, which are energies in motion that are happening around us, and those are happening inside of us too. They're like toxic barrels that have been in the ocean of our awareness, inside of our inner world, and they've been leaching out slowly every time that a rock or a nail hit them and punctured the side. But we adjusted, and we got used to the poison, and we just avoided that area and just hoped to bury it. But suddenly there's going to be a significant emotional event, which is a sea. You can refer to it as. And when this sea happens, it's like taking a stir stick and stirring those emotions, and then all of those feelings are going to reflect our actions, which then are going to create our results. And what I am so excited to have finally come to the awareness of is that we all have an inner teen. We have many aspects of ourselves based on the inner kingdom within us that has all kinds of doors and chambers with trapped parts of ourselves that we have disowned and tried to forget that even exist, because we judged them and we said they're not enough. Not enoughness is the story that we all play when we are in false evidence appearing real, which is what fear is. That is why it is so important to become full of hope and peace. Hope simply because it is what is going to help us lift into the higher emotions. It is like the elevator. Hope is the elevator that we have to catch hold of in order to rise. And if we lose, we will feel depressed and lacking energy, because energy is in motion when we are hopeful. We have movement, and movement matters. We have to move ourselves. Physical fitness is as important as financial fitness, health fitness, money fitness, sex fitness. Your self-image, oh my God, that is the currency. Your self-esteem is the bank balance, but your self-image is the gatekeeper. It is the one that pushes the buttons and says what you will be able to accept, neglect, or reject. And that is what the conscious mind does. The conscious mind is where the ego lives. That's the small you. Here is where the big you is. That is where your God spark sits. That is where your breath is. And your belly, your breath, it is the first and last thing you will ever do. Breathe. Therefore, is not breath life? In order to breathe, we have to be willing to breathe hard, which is where we are able to reach peacefulness. Peace is about passion, enthusiasm, authenticity, clarity, and encouragement, because who you surround yourself with matters. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most amount of your time with. And if they, on a scale of 0 to 10, as John Maxwell teaches, are at a 3, don't expect your lid to be any higher than that. If you're willing to put yourself with those people that aren't willing to lift their own lid, expect yours to be left at their level. 5 of them. Who are yours? And how intentional are you being about it? Not to be direct and pointed, because aggression is not the way. But it is to shake you up a little bit and to penetrate your awareness. To say, hey, it is time to interrupt the story, because you are on the hero's journey of your life. You are the hero you've been waiting for. It is time for you to realize just how powerful you are, and you can only do it when you move yourself back into the present moment and connect with something that feels fun, that allows you to feel joy, or whatever your best self feels like to you. You've got to create an image that you can attach yourself to. Yet attachment to the past or future will not serve you in staying here. So be mindful of setting the intention and then letting the universe know that you intend for it to happen, because you are putting it into the cosmic kitchen. The cosmic kitchen is where you send your orders. We do it with every single thought we think, which is why Carolyn Myss says our words are magic carpets. They command our lives. They command the direction in which we are able to travel. We have to be willing to travel into the depths of our soul, to go through the dark night of the soul that is at the bottom of the valley of transformation that every hero must walk in order to find themselves, because we have to lift the veils, my friends. Now the veils are thinner than ever, which is why so much truth is being exposed. And we are a culture that is afraid of truth. Let's be serious. We're taught what to think, not how to think. And so now that there are big things being exposed and we're not really knowing who we can trust anymore, it's just a reflection of what's going on inside. We have so much power in here, yet we have not even touched the surface. It is time for us to own both the shadow and the light. And that is how I want to help people own their inner teen and grow her or him up with us, so that we can let them stand side by side us, and instead of trying to shove them down and be the toxic barrels that are leaching constantly, instead we can actually allow them to be prideful with us. Pride, not the answer. And yet, our shadow motivations, they matter. Yeah, we want to be awesome. We want people to find us. We want people to like us because we want to belong. Tribal belonging has kept us safe for centuries, and it is part of our instinctual desire to connect. It's one of the motivational needs that both Abraham Maslow and Tony Robbins both break down in similar charts, but with different language. Your language matters. Pay attention to how you speak. And I want to say, be smart in your language. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. If you can be smart about things, generally and specifically, it's going to help you get a lot more clear. And the more clear you can be, the more peaceful you can be. Because when you are peaceful, you are passionate, enthusiastic, authentic. You are clear about what is important to you. And you have surrounded yourself with encouragers, people that uplift you instead of depress you. And that is a choice. You can spend time with people that respect you and that make you feel better for having spent time with them, or you can spend it with time. You can spend your time, energy, attention, your emotion, and your money with people that just want to suck you dry. People that just want to take because they think they don't have enough on their own. They don't think they have access, so they need to interrupt your access in order to get access for themselves. Takers and givers. It's the difference. And it is about learning that the hero's journey ends and starts in the same place, and it is with legacy. Your legacy is about your intention, what you expect now for when you are at the end of your life. It's not about what is on the gravestone as the begin date and the end. It is the small dash in the middle that is most important. It is what you fill your life with, and you are the avatar that your soul has chose to incarnate here as the best version of yourself. And that is what happens when you become a holy human. Someone that is integrated body, mind, heart, spirit, soul, all of us into the present moment, into the now moment where we are home within ourselves. Maxwell Maltz has taught about the inner rabbit hole. And the inner rabbit hole is where you can go in the middle of chaos to find clarity, to find peace, to find forgiveness of self and others for what is happening in the now, where you feel you have no control because the ego, the small mind, doesn't know what's happening. It's unfamiliar. And familiarity is one of our motivational needs, in fact. Because if we feel familiar, we know what to expect. And if we know what to expect, we can think that we have some kind of control over it. And that makes us feel better. And it helps us sleep better at night to know who's coming into the room to get us or to not. If we don't feel safe, if we don't know that we're going to survive, we can't belong into something. And we certainly can't respect ourselves by being picky and choosy. Beggars get what givers decide. Beggars can't be choosers, right? Wrong. Stories. That is what they all are. Our life is the culmination of all the stories that we have accepted and agreed with. And Don Miguel Ruiz has a book that is so powerful and so short that everyone must read it. Make that part of our culture, that we are impeccable with our world. Impeccable with our word means being without sin. And sin is to simply speak against ourselves, because words are the magic carpet. It's the universe that we are ordering from. And when we send off that order, we have to trust that it's going to be received by the cook and cooked as soon as the cook can get it finished to perfect order. And that is why sometimes it takes time to get where we're going. I have had 2 situations in the last 2 days where I have fast-tracked something that did not need to be fast-tracked. I honked at somebody just as they were starting to pull off because they were like 3 seconds into an advanced green. And I wanted to help them know that they needed to go. Because I try to be helpful, but sometimes, in fact, being helpful is hindering. And that is the subtle difference between enabling and helping. To enable someone is to give them something. But to equip someone is to teach them how to fish so they can fish for life on their own without you. If you enable them, they will always need you. But if you offer them a lesson with your presence, if you actually connect with what they need, then you as the teacher in their life doesn't have to show up in a harsher form, because the universe will first send feathers and then will send sandpaper, maybe a brick, and then it'll send a bloody 2x4, and you'll get knocked upside down and wonder what happened. And the universe says, hello, I was trying to communicate with you this entire time. You've not been listening, so I was trying louder. Animal messages are a huge part in that. I love my animal messenger cards, and I've done readings where cards fell out and I read them off one by one, and they told a perfect story together because those animals showed up for me to give me a message. And when we're driving around or walking and we see an animal, it's important to pay attention to their meaning, because there are signs, symbols, and symbolism that is rich with wisdom if we're willing to listen, because everything matters. Everything is connected. It is in school where we are taught when enough is enough. So, thank you. I'm going to wrap it up. Lord Jai, namaste.